The podcast. It's not so secret because. Hold on, guys. Secret Service Sam, the podcast. It's Secret Service Sam, the podcast. It's not so secret because you're here. Yeah. Guys, how do you like my new intro, baby? Yeah, that's what a lot of money and production will get you, is a real fancy intro like that. I'm going to get right into it. This is Secret Service Sam's super secret show, but it's not a secret because you guys are here. And today on my show, I am so proud to have one of my good friends that I've made throughout this crazy debauchery known as the Diddy trial. This woman is fresh from the Diddy Dome today, and she is one of the top influencers covering this trial. You're going to have to clap from your chair or wherever you are, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Miss Emilie Hagen, or Emily Knows Everything, as everybody knows her, right?
Hello, everybody.
There it is. There's your.
We missed you today at court.
I know. I have total FOMO. I mean, I'm on family vacation right now and I'm so happy about it and I feel great. I've been getting rest, but oh my god, the FOMO is so real, Emily. That's why I
Yeah,
almost I wanted to
honestly,
talk
you
to
didn't
you.
miss much. Wait, I'm trying
I
to
know.
adjust. Okay, now I'm in the middle.
There
Okay,
you go. Looking good, Emily.
you
Looking
didn't
good.
miss much, Sam. It's good that you're with your family today because today most of the day was spent of us just watching the jury watch the freak off tapes.
Wow. Okay, so tell us a little bit. I'll let you go into depth on that, Emily. Tell the people just basically what happened today. What happened. You said it was a little bit boring.
Yeah, I got there a little late, and when I got there, I was like, "Did I miss anything?" And they were like, "Oh no, it was just Maureen Comey, the prosecution, decided that this is their last day to rest their case, and one of the strategies was to show the jurors the freak offs. So these jurors were just obviously the court, we couldn't see any of it, so that they're just watching the freak offs. Allegedly, one woman laughed. I did not witness that myself. Someone said
Okay.
that a juror laughed. Like, what? I wasn't there, but that was the rumor going around at the courthouse. And then after that, they kind of moved into having a Homeland Security guy on the stand, and they just were showing old voice notes, text messages, and things to show that Diddy actually paid these prostitutes with his own credit card. And they brought up KK a lot. Robin Greenhill from Tristar Entertainment. We can get into all that stuff later. You lead your show, Sam. You're the president
No,
here, so.
look, Emily, this is what I love. And, I had somebody even tell me yesterday, like, Sam, let your guests talk. And I thought I was doing a pretty good job of that. So I really am trying to let you talk, just because I realized you were there at the Diddy Dome, which, by the way, I don't know if you've caught on to that, but I just started calling it the other day and I wish we would have done it earlier. But
The Diddy
I wanted.
dump?
Diddy Dome, like the Thunder
Oh,
Dome, the Diddy
yeah.
Dome. I think it kind of has a little ring to it. But no, I just wanted to hear like what you had to say because you were there. And like you said, one of the jurors might have laughed. And like you said, they watched hours of freak
They
off tapes.
had they had hours of freak off tapes. So the prosecution has somehow seized hours of these freak off tapes of the diddler watching Jane Doe and Cassie having sex with these male escorts from Cowboys and Angels, the escort site, and they spent a good part of the morning showing clips from these moments. So,
Okay.
um, yeah, it was interesting. And then as we got on a break, the news broke that the defense will not be calling any witnesses now. That's pretty.
Isn't that kind of shocking? I mean, so
Yeah,
Diddy's team is not calling any witnesses, correct?
right. Which I was told a week ago that Derek Jeter was coming to the stand.
I know. And you also, Emily, let's just go. So people don't know, Emily has broken a lot of stuff that has happened here at this trial, such as Kanye. You predicted this a long time ago, and I'll let you tell people about that, how you predicted Kanye and he actually showed up.
I've been following Ye. I have an archive called Kanye's Posts. So since 2022, I archive all of Ye's deleted posts because he'll like post something exposing the industry and then delete it. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's raunchy, whatever. So his patterns have become pretty predictable to me. And because he was showing so much support for the diddler up until the trial, I had a feeling he was going to come and show up, and he did. And then I also exposed the paid protesters, and
Yes.
because of the Kanye's post page, I was able to connect the dots of who was behind it because Kanye was promoting the Diddy coin on his X account, and it was a retweet from Diddy's actual X account that's being run by his children. And then when you go into the terms and conditions, whoever was running the Diddy coin, it said they were members of the Combs family. So there was a Kanye and Diddy connection there too. And then you know that Kanye put, they were on a phone call a month before the trial where Ye recorded the phone call with Diddy, and then Diddy was
Right.
thanking Kanye for like taking care of his children, and then Ye made that into a song and put his daughter Northwest on the song, which
Right.
caused Kim Kardashian to freak out.
Yes, I
I don't know
remember
if you
when
knew
that.
about that.
Yeah, no, you're and I that's why I want to let you talk because you exposed the paid protesters, you predicted Kanye coming to court, and you also and I was sitting right next to you inside the courtroom and you look at me and I don't know what the heck I must have been doing. I had my finger up my butt and you're like, "Oh my god, Diddy just showed me the book he was reading." I was like, "What are you talking about?" You're like, "I just asked him and he showed me the book," and I was like, "Oh my god." And then
I
you
don't think
said the
you were
book.
in the room. I don't think you were in the room yet. I think it was just me and the Daily Mail guy, and then you came in right after it
No,
happened.
well,
Or,
maybe if it was after that, but you told me that right then. You go, yeah, maybe that was it. You go, Diddy
yeah,
just showed me the book he was reading, and then you explained it to me like that, and I was like, wait a minute. I was like, yeah, I had just come in, I think after, and you had told me that, and I was like, at first, I was like, no way. I was like, he's not showing you the book he's reading, and then
yeah,
sure
he was.
enough. You knew it. And then Stephanie Sue, who I think she's back, guys. She's not missing anymore. She said that she saw a red book and then
It
Googled
wasn't
it
red; it was
later.
orange.
Right. So it's interesting. So I just want to give you
I don't
credit
remember
that
her being. I don't remember Stephanie being in the courtroom that day, but
I don't either. There's Stephanie and then there's Tiffany I've seen, and then another woman who I think is an assistant or whatnot. But
she
I
has
agree.
two other members that are on her team. She could have very well been on the other side, but when I was in the room, Diddy walked in with the orange book,
Mhm.
and he made eye contact with me, and then the Daily Mail guy in front of me said, "Oh, did you see Diddy had that book?" I go, "Yeah, I wonder what it is." And then Diddy turned around to see if his family was there, and then he said to me, "How you doing?" And I said, "Hey, what's that book that you're reading?" And he's like,
I
"Oh, you want to see my book?" And then he takes the book and he shows it to me. And then me and the Daily Mail guy wrote it down, and then Daily Mail guy was like, "Good on you, you're gonna get an exclusive, mate." And then
right. Yes.
Sam came in, and I was like, I was like, "You can have the print exclusive to Daily Mail," and he's like, "You'll be able to go do a video." And then I told Sam, "Let me break it first, and then you break it." And now,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, and we were
oh,
that's it. And yeah, you told it perfectly. And that's of course why I let you, tell it. And I remember it too, because I was like, oh my God, I was like, Emily, you need to go leave the courtroom now
yes,
because people don't understand. Like we check our phones in, we have this little golden ticket coin, and you can come and go once you wait in line in the Diddy line. And the cool part that's different from the overflow room is when you're in the actual court building once you're one of those 14 public or 21 press, they do not give your seat up. No one else can come in but you. You can come in, go shopping at the mall, come back at 3 p.m., and your seat is still there. So, I
that's crazy.
digressulated a
And
little
thanks
bit.
to you, I was able to get the story because I didn't know
Right.
you
That's what
could
I said
leave.
to Emily. I was like, you need to go down now. That was my whole point of that long rant. And so Emily raced out, reported it, and then I went out right after you and
And then
which is
like Vibe magazine and other magazines, Vibe magazine, Yahoo, a bunch of magazines picked up my story and credited me. So then when I saw these other influencers trying to like say it didn't happen. I'm like, wait, first of all, this story's old news. This book was a few weeks ago, all right? And I made a joke where I said, Diddy, I like looked up the book. It's about manifestation and like new age
Yeah.
metaphysics. So I was like, oh, the Diddler's trying to manifest his verdict.
I
And then
mean, yes.
Nancy Grace ended up going on her show, and then she put that as her caption, manifesting the verdict. So like it became like a big thing, and then we never saw the book again. I don't know if Diddy just wanted people to know that he was like trying to be a better person and like read these books, but like since that day, like I was in the courtroom Friday, he did not have the book. I specifically stood up, like risk getting kicked out. He had no book, so he has not
Right.
brought that book back to court since.
You think he read it that quick? Or do you think somebody, you have to think
Do you think
there's
he even
somebody,
read it?
yeah, I mean, right? Or you have to think there's somebody reviewing social media every night to watch what people like you and I are posting, what we're saying, to be like, yo, they know the book. Yeah, I don't know. But, and here's another thing, which I think is interesting and not totally fair, is that a lot of us are breaking a lot of these stories and things that happen, and it's not the major legacy media, because we have such an advantage. Like you said, a lot of these people, they're writing it down, they have to go to print, or somebody's waiting on their editor to format it to, go ahead. Like
Yeah.
with when I reported when Kanye, we thought, remember, and you can verify this, you were sitting there with me, Remy from Hip Hop Canada, and he said, what did he say, Emily? Tell the people.
He said that Ye tried to come into the court, but he was blocked by the prosecution. They told him he
Exactly.
couldn't come because, and I've been told that that's still true. So you never reported fake news, even though
I
you got a
know.
lot of hate for that.
I know. I
I
know.
think
And
he was
that's the
on his way
thing.
that day, and they didn't know that Jane Doe was going to tell a story that maybe was about him and Bianca. So
Right.
once that would have been a witness intimidation, but then the second day they let him in because she was gone, she was off the stand, and they opened up a separate overflow room for him. So like you got a
Right.
lot of hate, but to this day, I think you and Remy were right.
Yeah. No, I do too. And also you were there because I go to Remy. I was like, can I post that? And I was fresh off the Gene deal saying he knocked out a certain YouTuber, which, I went back, apologized, I corrected my report. I used your eyewitness report to find again another story we didn't mention that you broke, Emily. That you were in the elevator, you were
Yeah.
there.
I've been definitely like I feel like I'm in the right place at the right time.
You
Like I
have
was,
been.
but today not really. Nothing really happened today. I don't have much for you today. Today
No,
was just
that's okay.
everyone was just sweating outside. Candy got arrested.
Oh,
Candy,
wow.
but she's
Shocker.
not.
What did she do?
I posted a video. She told the story. She made a comment, and her ex boyfriend reported her, and then now she's not arrested anymore. So she's back at the court. So that
It
was like
is
a little drama
amazing.
today.
It's so amazing what you have to do. Like, I feel like if you and I did any of this stuff, we would be in jail. There's no way we'd get away with it. And then, like, Candy, for those who don't know this, Candy is what she's in the cast of the Diddy outside the courtroom drama movie. And she's the one who got kicked out of the courtroom. And were you in when she made her
No, but I
scene?
heard. Were you
Yeah,
there?
when she was like, Diddy, the Fed, she's like, grab your pum pums, grab your pum pum, Diddy. She's like, I mean, it was crazy. And
And
they
didn't
like,
Diddy look and go?
yeah, Diddy, it's probably like, please, no, please. Yeah.
I mean, today Candy told me some wild conspiracies.
I
Okay. You
mean,
want to hear what she told me?
sure, why
So
not?
she goes, Emily. She goes, last week, some guy, Iranian guy, came up to me and told me that Mark Agnifico is working with the feds and he's a double agent.
She thinks
And
everybody is a double agent, man. I mean, that's the thing. Everybody thinks like, Diddy a Fed is, I mean, the problem is with Candy, is, and like I've told this story a million times, like she was talking to me for an hour facing this way. And then she goes, Sam, what do you think about that? And I was like, I thought you were on the phone this whole time. I'm just like, so she comes off as like totally with it. She says she works for the MTA, but then
yeah, she does.
I mean, she assaulted one of the line sitters, with a mag light flashlight. and he had a
Wait,
huge
Heidi
egg on
was
his head.
what?
You didn't know that?
No.
Oh, snappy fish.
Well,
Yeah,
I know your boy. The line
Kay,
sitters
my
today were
line
all
sitter.
shirtless.
Sorry, Kay, my line sitter. Um, he was there. It was early in the morning, and then another line sitter. I don't. I think he told her to to quiet down because she was talking, doing her usual stuff, and then she just had a mag light and she hit him on the forehead.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so pretty crazy stuff.
I mean, the line sitters today were all shirtless because it's 100 degrees out. So they're all
Shirtless
shirtless.
line sitters. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And they, you know, there's this new group of line sitters that are kind of taking over the line dudes. It's Kevin's team. So
Oh, is
there was a guy that got arrested, and now he's
okay.
back, and now there's like this whole new crew of like they're like they're called like the unprofessional line sitters. Like they're not the official line sitters, but you can get a better deal with these guys. They'll literally they're in line right now, ready for like the people that they sit for.
Wow.
Yeah, and they told
It's
me Rotten Mango is using them now because they're much cheaper than the line dudes.
well, right. I mean, because for people to know, I mean, I've paid. I think the first week, I was paying like $300 for a line sitter. You know, and I was doing that like 3 nights in a row, and I was just
That's
like, I can't.
crazy.
So I had to start waiting in line myself. I mean, shout out to the guys who make a living. So what about who else? The cast of characters, has Jimmy been by there, or you know?
I didn't see
Um,
Jimmy today. No, your other guy John wasn't there. I didn't see anyone like that. It was
okay.
mostly just like it was so hot today. You didn't miss a lot. Like
It just like fried everybody out. Okay.
yeah. So I think the main takeaway today was that we are hearing. Do you know about like the Lou Taylor, Britney
Yeah,
Spears
please tell
conservatorship?
everybody about that. Again, Emily, I learned about a lot of this stuff through you because I mean, you're
Okay.
brilliant in the way you connect the dots on all this. So please let everybody know. Drop science.
Okay, so if anyone here used to follow Free Britney, she was in a conservatorship put in by her dad, Jamie Spears, for many years. And the
Right.
other person behind the conservatorship was a woman called Lou Taylor, who the Free Britney Army refers to as Lucifer, Loucifer,
Wow.
because she has been known as this like powerful woman that's kind of in the underbelly of these Hollywood circles. She's Kim Kardashian's current business manager. She was connected and sued during the Astroworld tragedy.
Wow.
She, one time Courtney Love said she tried to put her in a conservatorship, and then Lindsay Lohan also she tried to put in a conservatorship. So when
Wow.
she would put these celebrities into a conservatorship, there was a financial motive for her. Well,
Obviously.
last year when Lil Rod filed his lawsuit, Lil Rod filed a lawsuit and said that so her company is called Tristar Entertainment and Sport Group.
Okay.
She has a partner named Robin Greenhill. Now, during the Free Britney
Right.
days, the Free
Hmm.
Britney Army was asking they were asking people to please investigate Lou Taylor and TriStar Entertainment and Robert Greenhall because
Hmm.
they allegedly placed surveillance into Britney's home, like black box surveillance to monitor Britney, and they were behind a lot. When Britney was freed from her conservatorship, she made a long, detailed caption about how her father worshipped Lou Taylor and Robin Greenhill and how those women tried to kill her. There is a caption on my Substack. If you guys want to go look at the deep dive, it's on my Substack. Emily knows everything.
Wow.
There is a caption of Britney Spears saying, Lou Taylor and Robin Greenhill, these women are like the devil that tried to kill me. Even more recently, Kanye posted about Lou Taylor.
Hmm.
Lou Taylor is also on the board of Justin Bieber's church. This
Wow.
woman is connected to all the celebrities that you think are unhinged that went off the deep end.
Huh.
Lou Taylor is behind all of them. But not only that, her partner Robin Greenhill was named in Little Rod's lawsuit last year. Little Rod filed a lawsuit against Diddy and Combs Enterprises and said
Okay.
that Robin Greenhill was his accountant and finance manager, and she was responsible for wiring the sex workers their freak off money. And he
Wow.
named a bunch of people that I can't name. Jane Doe was named in his lawsuit, but it has now been
Hmm.
redacted.
Hmm.
Today at court, this was proven that one day Jane Doe on September, in September 2023.
Okay.
2 months before Cassie filed her lawsuit, Jane Doe left a freak off and was upset because the diddler did not pay her. So what did she do? She emailed, she texted Robin Greenhill, his accountant, and said,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey, I just left this freak off and I didn't get paid." So because Robin's the business manager, she sent an email from Robin Greenhill from her Tristar email address to Team Combs' email requesting money for the freak off.
Wow.
Later that evening, Diddy wired Jane Doe $5,000. So
Ah.
the prosecution today proved that Robin Greenhill at Tristar was very involved with the RICO, and she was aware of what was happening at the company. So last
Wow.
week, when their names got brought up last week, that Lou Taylor and Robin were on an exhibit, that they had a meeting with Diddy
Mm-hmm.
about his finances the night before he threw Jane Doe that famous birthday party.
Right. At
So,
Nobu, right?
yeah.
Now, is Nobu the night where they had the 7 celebrity freak off and it was the 2 birthday parties, or is that a different night?
No, the Nobu is when Jane Doe asked Diddy for a $15,000 budget for a birthday,
Right. Okay. Right.
and
Right.
then she was upset because the night ended with a freak off.
Right. On her birthday. Yep.
So last week when Brendan Paul was on the stand,
Mm-hmm.
he talked about how he got a schedule. They pulled up a schedule of Brendan Paul's work assignments from that week of this birthday party, and it said
Okay.
on the screen, "Dinner with Lou, Robin, and Tariq," and they're of
Right.
TriStar. And then it said the next day, Jane Doe arrives for Wild King Night. You guys will have day off. Then it said the next day after that, Night party continues into day. So,
Wow.
like, it's obvious now that these people are connected. And then also, Brendan Paul said that anytime he would buy baby oil for the Diddler
Mm-hmm.
or Astroglide,
Uh-huh.
he'd buy it with his own credit card. So
Hmm.
he basically said that Lou Taylor's partner Robin would be CC'd on these emails, so she would be the one that would like reimburse him. So people were like, "Well, she didn't do anything wrong. There's no crime with baby oil." But now today they proved that she knew that these freak offs were happening. So if they're trying to say these were coercion and that these were sex trafficking, wouldn't she somehow? Shouldn't she be held accountable too? Why is it only the diddler?
Right. Yeah. I mean, and that's what a lot of people have been saying. Or if they're if they're going after Brendan acting like, he was the dealer, well, why aren't they going after his dealer? And, or like you said, I think you mentioned or somebody did, why aren't they going after the escort service who supplied these men who were and I personally too, I don't really think it should be illegal when you have a consenting adult who is either being paid for a service to come to party. You're a billionaire. You have adults that want to do these fun type of pleasure parties. I mean, we all know swingers, all these types of things happen in society. And I guess this has really made me realize, like, wow, that's illegal. Like, so if you're rich, just hypothetically, Emily, and you want to fly a man out to Mexico with you for the weekend, right? That is illegal. Now, of course, we don't see women doing this really ever
No, they
strict.
do.
They do,
They
but it's
do.
mostly men who are, engaging in
Oh,
this
you'd
kind
be
of stuff. But
surprised, Sam. There's women that are doing it too.
yeah, but you know what I mean? I just don't feel personally. I personally think it should be legal throughout all 50 states, like in Nevada. I think you should be free to pay for, services like
Well, I
that.
think that's what. And then today CNN was like doing their broadcast, and they were like, "Yeah, they're gonna totally get Diddy because the prosecution was bringing up all these receipts that showed that he was paying for the prostitutes with his own credit card, and they're like,
Right.
that could be like a 10-year charge." And a lot of people were like looking at her saying like, "Well, then arrest everybody because like every rapper." Every
Right.
politician, all these, not every, but a
I
lot
mean,
of
dude,
rich,
yeah, who
powerful.
what powerful man hasn't used a credit card or used his power and money to try to sleep with a woman? I mean, that's just I mean, it's so funny how I feel like people we can't talk about this as a society, but they're in the dating world or amongst adults there are like for example, my dad married a woman, remarried a woman younger than him. He's older, has money. She was younger and prettier. So, to my dad to think, oh yeah, one of his friends famously said, she doesn't like you for your looks. She likes you for your money, you idiot. And now it goes both ways. You know what I mean? The woman is getting this stability and she's getting it. So it's but we do it at different levels, no
I
matter,
think it's the fact.
does
I
that
think
make
it's like
sense?
if they're just trying to get him for prostitution, I think people are gonna have a problem with it. I think it's them
Right.
trying to prove the sex trafficking part, and that these women were. I think people had a different idea of what sex trafficking was going into this trial. They were expecting
We all did.
underage kids in like a van, tunnels, and kids in cages. We're not seeing that.
What about that? Do you think any of that? And I know we have to be careful about talking like that on the feed. But I talked to Gene Deal in the elevator, and I asked him. I said, Gene, where does folklore and fact? Where is that line? He's like, well, some things are gonna remain folklore, and some things are gonna be fake. Gene. He's like,
That's what he
some
said.
things. Yeah, he's just like, some things will always stay folklore because it'll never come to the light, but it did happen. And it's just this kind of
Yeah,
like we
like we
all
need to
thought
know the
there were.
truth.
Say again.
Yeah, like we're hearing people like Gene Deal, Allie Carter, and all these other Jaguar,
Right.
right? They're all saying a totally different thing than what we're hearing in court. So it's like, are the feds hiding that info from us, or was that just fiction, or should we believe? How are we supposed to know what to believe?
And that's what I asked Gene Deal, and he was basically like, some of it's factual, but it's going to remain fairy tale, because we all thought, I'd heard about Usher and Diddy
Yeah,
and a certain incident where he went to the hospital. But again, Emily, and you can testify to this, we have not seen one incident of Diddler engaging in male on male activity. Okay, he has participated in choosing the male, and there's nothing wrong if he had. If he's gay, who cares? I don't care. I mean, every rock star, David Bowie, the Rolling Stones, like I say, Led Zeppelin. We are so hard on this behavior Diddy is engaged in, but like you said, we'd have to charge everybody if that were
yeah.
the
Like the
case.
gayest thing he's done was like fire the assistant for forgetting his Lululemon fanny pack. In my opinion,
Yeah, you're right. That is so hilarious. And it's true. I mean, but all this stuff like audio of him with LeBron. Oh, daddy. Oh, daddy. You're like, no. I mean, there's no, what about the rumor or somebody testified that he had a Tootsie Roll size
that's a new civil. I don't think that was to testify. I think someone just had a
in the
civil
civil
lawsuit.
lawsuit.
Yeah, and there's so many civil lawsuits that are not getting brought up in court too.
Right. And it would make sense because Diddy, what people don't understand, the only celebrity freak off we have heard about in this entire trial has been the 7 person after the birthday party with an alleged iconic rapper. Somebody said, we think it's Kanye, allegedly. But that is the only celebrity. Every other tape involved Diddy,
Yep,
an escort, and Diddy's girl at the time.
I know, and like we were expecting Ashton Kutcher to be swinging from a rope. We were expecting Leonardo DiCaprio to be like popping out of a corner,
Right,
like
right,
on the Titanic. But we're not getting that. Like, where's Paris Hilton? But then
right,
you got to think about the Lou Taylor connection. Kim Kardashian unfollowed Diddy 24 hours before the feds raided his home in
right.
March. So who
I mean,
tipped
yeah,
her
what
off?
about them? Yeah,
Who tipped her off? And maybe Corey Gamble, who was at the scene of the crime when Kim Porter died, or
right.
was it Lou Taylor?
Right. And look how close Kim is and the Kardashians. I mean, because they're all up in there with Kanye. I remember a story Courtney told on Keeping Up the Kardashians where she's like, yeah, it was me, Corey, Kanye, and Diddy at the studio, and it's just me. And I'm like thinking to myself, like, I don't know who's, yeah, we
Well, there's
all
also a
thought,
lawsuit right now. I mean, Nikki or Lauren Pishkota is suing Ye for a very similar thing to what Diddy is doing, and Lisa Bloom is her lawyer that's representing her in court, and she's been at the
mm,
overflow room, and she's going to be representing Lauren against Ye. She's
mm,
accusing Ye of trafficking, and also coordinating orgies at work and sexual misconduct. So we're going to be seeing a similar case with him if that goes to trial.
Right.
And her friend Nikki Haley came forward and said that Ye and Diddy roofied them at a studio years ago, but like they didn't press charges. So it's like
I mean,
we're
yeah.
hearing a lot of these stories, but we're not hearing them in this actual courtroom, and court's about to be over.
Right. Right. Well, and you know, and a lot of people bring up the point like Hugh Hefner. Hugh Hefner
Yes.
was easily doing things like this allegedly, or you know, there's tons of
Oh
playmates who
yeah.
talk. So you know, and I think it's important for us to point it out, like we've you know said, like as white creators reporting on black celebrities, there is a sensitivity in the black community that we need to hold white celebrities
Yeah.
as accountable, if not more, because we see a lot of the white celebrities, the Abercrombie and Fitch guy, the Hugh Hefners of the
Don't
world.
even get me started on Abercrombie guy. They're letting
Yeah.
him go off for saying he has dementia.
Right. I heard that. I talked
That's
to somebody else.
insane. And
Oh,
that
how
trafficking ring is
convenient.
insane.
I mean,
That guy,
really?
what that guy was doing, it was worse than anything. If you guys want to check out another deep dive, I've done Abercrombie deep twice. I'm gonna probably do another recap on that. But what that guy was doing was more twisted than anything I've heard
Because he was
in
hiring
report.
male models and then, right?
Oh, it was really weird what he was for. He was telling them they were going to get a job. He'd fly them to Portugal or Spain, and then you know how the Abercrombie store used to be set up, like you know the store how it had a
Yeah,
very
yeah.
like the smell of fierce, and then they'd be the models would be shirtless, folding the clothes.
Hmm.
Well, we remember that as our childhood, you know, the expensive store where we'd have to beg our parents to pay for it, and then
Right.
they'd be rude to you. Well, the CEO and his partner, they would fly these male models overseas and tell them they were giving them a modeling job, and then they would have an Abercrombie and Fitch floor placed like they'd have it at a simulated storefront to make it look like it was a store, and they would tell the
Oh,
model, okay, let's like practice, you're gonna like do a tryout, and they'd have this guy like get shirtless and put on the moose boxers. He'd get in the middle of the floor, and then he would start basically like folding the clothes, and then from the corner would come Mike Jeffries and his partner, and they would force the guys to have oral sex, and they
wow.
would hook up with these guys, and then they would do it on boats. So they were like it's so creepy that we were like high school students buying clothes from these stores while these predators
All
were
right, yeah.
raping teenage boys.
Wow. I don't know if we can say that on the live, but you just did.
I don't know if you can either, but that's
Come
why
on, Emily, don't get me banned this early. Now,
for
hold on.
this type of stuff, Substack is better because like you can see all of the really raunchy details
Yeah,
without
I know.
censoring as
Well,
much.
you know, on the live, you gotta kind of abbreviate
Oh,
it.
you have to
Now,
say like rape, yeah.
I don't even know if you can say that. I mean, I'm used to TikTok where it's like, so Sylvia S is saying, "Hi, Sam and Emily. Do you think Diddy was hoping someone would see and leak the book in hopes of good PR write up for him? I'm a good person type thing, you know?"
Yeah, I thought that, but then I was like, wouldn't he have chosen the Bible to avoid the New Age witch conspiracies? Because prior to the trial, people said Diddy was a witch because he has
Yeah.
witch tattoos on his back. So when
Well,
I posted about that book, people were saying it was actually bad PR. They were like, "Wow, he really is a little witch."
interesting. What was the name of it? Was The Magic in Believing, right? The
Magic
Magic
of
of
believing.
Believing, which is so true. I mean, when you had told me and he was reading that, I instantly was like in Diddy's, not in Diddy's place, but I was just thinking about his mental state of, and anybody's, of like, okay, I'm sitting in here against the impossible. I'm in a federal court building, and but there's still the magic of believing, and I don't know why, in a very weird way, it was I don't know, I don't want to get it wrong, like it was poetic in a way, like wow, here's this guy with all odds. I mean, he put himself there, so you can't feel bad for him at all, but it was just in an odd weird way, I don't want to say inspiring, but just like wow, everything's against you in life, and it is your magic of believing that will get you out of the
Yeah.
circumstance you're in. So while Diddy put himself there, it's like a better example is somebody who's raised in complete poverty, and the magic of believing you can better yourself.
Yeah.
That's what's
It's
inspiring.
it's like one of those books like How to Control Your Reality. So Diddy's
Right.
essentially being like, if I read this book, maybe I could control the reality of this verdict and the
Right,
outcome.
right. I mean, literally. And look, manifestation is very real. He's done it his entire life.
Yep.
He's been manifesting his whole life. I would think if I'm Diddy, he's seeing his way out of this. He's manifesting his way out of this situation, you
I
know?
think so too. And
All
I
right.
mean, I don't know. We can end up by talking about how we think it's going to go. I mean,
Yeah,
you
that's what I was
have
just going to ask you. What do you
no
think?
witnesses coming to the stand. I mean, people are saying that's risky. Like, why didn't they call a single defense witness?
I mean, for me, and I think a lot of people that feels like that shows like confidence that we're somebody made a point the other day that that's like a great way to win an argument is to just leave it in the other person's court.
Ah,
Like when you're texting somebody and you're in a fight, you want to keep going back and forth, but there's nothing more powerful than stop texting,
right.
right?
Like if they brought witnesses in, maybe it looks try hard, like they're like forcing it.
Right, right. So I think these guys are like, we've done enough pushing. It's so close to the mark that and it's psychological to show the jury, you know, we're
But
good.
someone today was like, Maureen Comey never loses. The feds never lose.
Maybe not. Can you talk? I mean, I don't want to. I mean, I don't want to
I
talk
don't
about
know
this.
much. I don't know much about her. I know her dad, the connection
Yeah,
with the father, but
yeah.
like
I don't think
they were
they
just
like me
they
much,
said that
so.
if Maureen Comey loses, it's going to be humiliating. That's what someone said today.
I mean, I think it will be. This is like a little bit of David versus Goliath, and but Goliath with a billionaire and the best lawyers behind him, or sorry, David with
Oh, and then KK, they keep calling KK. I
right,
was told by someone that KK's not. Someone first they told me KK was in hiding and they couldn't find her to subpoena her. Then I was
probably
told the reason the prosecution is not calling KK to the stand is because KK's not going to turn on Diddy, and then if
right,
Diddy gets convicted, they're going to build their own case against her. But this is all hearsay.
right. KK is in Bali, is my guess with Uncle Russell.
Uncle Russell just followed me.
Oh, really?
Is that interesting?
Uncle Russ, yeah. Because he's in Bali, because you can't extradite people from Bali.
He followed me when I posted that video of that homeless guy getting arrested. When I said, "Do you think
Weird.
Diddy is a Fed?" When I said Kanye called
Oh,
Diddy a
yeah.
Fed, do you think that video made Uncle Russ follow me?
That's
So now
peculiar.
he's been watching my content, and I'm like,
Yeah. Or do you think it's peculiar, like we were talking about earlier? I've been getting paid nothing from TikTok, and it really started since I started covering the Diddy trial.
"Yeah,
In the
that's I do
last
not
two
understand."
months that I've been heavily covering it, I went from, like I showed you, I went from making about 3,000 or so my first month. Then I made about like 1,300. Then another month I made almost three. Then I made 400. Then I made $10 last month. And it's, you would
No,
think,
something's very wrong with your account right now.
yeah, you would think the bigger your following gets, the more money you make. But no, what TikTok does is like the dealer on the corner. They give you some, they get you hooked, and then and so you think the more I push this to get my following up, the more money I'm going to make, all this money. But
That
no, it's
makes no
actually the
sense though,
opposite.
because then there's those other TikTokers that are making millions and millions that have
I
out
know,
money.
and I don't know. I think too it could be, Emily, I rub people the wrong way, or so. I don't know what's
No,
going
I think
on.
there's something going on with your account right now.
Yeah, I think it's like it's like a shadow ban, and that's why they call it a shadow ban, because I don't know, but it's just still like I try to send a report, a ticket, and the AI generator is just like, "Hey, you need to have engagement and comments and shares," and I'm just like, "That's everything I have." I've gotten
Right.
57 million views in the last 60 days. That is so. I've never
And
dreamed
you
of
made
having.
$16.
Yeah, I got 61. And so, and
Oh,
you got,
61. Okay.
yeah, and you had 12, what? 13 million views or 12 million, and you got
Yeah, and
about
it says estimated rewards 1,500, but then I was told that they at the last minute can just decide that's not the real number.
right. And that's why they say estimated
So
rewards.
is it going to be really lower than that?
You never know. Usually, when it says what it is, that's what it is. But I mean, TikTok, the RPM, the rate per milli, rate per thousand views, I've had it, the highest I've got about $1.65 per
Wow.
thousand views. But as of the last 2 months, everything is a 0 RPM. They will not
Yeah,
give me money.
I think people, if they want to donate, we've got probably 2 to 3 more weeks left of this trial. They can donate to our Venmos, Cash
That
Apps,
would be amazing. When do
anything
you think
helps
the
because
verdict is?
today I was talking to one of the mainstream reporters, and he was like, "You better ask your audience to donate because we are not going to have a verdict by next Friday." That's what he said, and I was like,
Mm.
"Really? You think I'm going to be in New York for another 2 weeks?"
Wow. See, I wouldn't mind that because then that way I'll be able to get there for the verdict. Because, yeah, otherwise, right now, I am broke as a joke. I mean, people don't understand. I've spent so much
Well,
money.
yeah, because you were spending on the line sitters.
I know. And, yeah, I mean, at the beginning. And then I just was like, all right, Sam, I'm going to become my own line sitter. But, yeah, I mean, just on hotel, Ubers, travel.
You're spending well over like 10 grand, well over.
Yeah, when it's all said and done, man, and it's really like, wow, that was great. Now I did have a lot of great followers donate and give me money, and I hate asking people for money because I know everybody's hurting. I mean, shit, I just went to the
Exactly.
grocery store and I'm like, it gets more and
And
more
we're like
expensive
going to
every
war,
time.
maybe.
All of it, it's depressing. It's a lot. So I don't know. It's hard. I wish TikTok was paying me properly because then I would have been able to
Exactly.
fund all this and been cool with it because I'd be like, oh, the views are money, but they actually
If only
aren't.
we got on YouTube when the trial started.
I know, and that's why we're here now, just so everybody knows. Make sure to follow Emily Knows Everything on YouTube and follow me, Secrets.
Right now my YouTube is Kanye's posts. I'm gonna
Okay,
launch that one. So if you
okay.
guys follow Kanye's posts, I'm gonna get my YouTube going in a week or two here.
Yeah, we have to because people don't understand, but YouTube actually pays creators
Yes.
real money. And so please tell everybody that's where we're focusing, getting our followings over to here. Emily, any last thoughts?
I hope that I see you soon in court. Your presence is missed. We missed you in
Oh,
the suit.
I know.
Uh, we hope to see you soon. And like, I honestly have no idea how the verdict, I feel like it's 50-50. I
Yeah,
have no
me
idea.
too.
It feels like the Super Bowl. You don't know. That's why it's like, don't bet on it.
No, because they could, yeah, somebody could get an interception and hit a field goal or something. Yeah, you don't. It is a 50-50, and wow, the tension. I just hope and pray that we can both be in that room when that verdict is given because oh my, that is just, I just want to, we've put so much into this. I feel like that's our cake
Yeah,
we need to be there to slice.
I know. I feel like the line sitters are gonna be really expensive for verdict day.
Well, I think we're gonna have to. I think I'm gonna be doing it myself, and I might have to bring like a tent or something and just frickin' camp out,
That
baby.
is insane.
I don't know. Maybe I have a tent. I might have to bring it.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for having me on. I'm gonna go
All
fundraise for
right,
the verdict day.
you're awesome. Well, stay safe and stay healthy, and it was great to have you on. And yeah, we'll see you soon.
Okay. Thanks, Sam.
Okay, thank you. I'll see you soon.
Bye.
Thanks, Emily. Okay, bye. Patriots, that was amazing. That was Emily. I hope you enjoyed my live podcast. Please subscribe, guys. I'm really trying to make a go at this, and I couldn't do it without you guys. I love you guys. You're just you don't have any clue how much your support really means to me. I'll be down on certain days because I'm not making any money doing this, and then somebody will send me a comment like your reports mean everything to me, or you have I like your sense of humor, whatever it is. It builds me up, and it makes me have the magic of believing that I can have my own show and I can have money and I can give back to all you guys. That's my dream. Love you guys. Secret Service Sam out. Samson for president of the dang world. Secret Service Sam, the podcast. It's Secret Service Sam, the podcast. It's not so secret because you're here.